So what is the lowest budget you can go in terms of a gaming PC? Today on Tech Droids, we are gonna find just that. Right, so hey guys, this is Yusuf here from Tech Droids and welcome to the $250 gaming PC build for the month of October 2016. $250 is as low as you can go for a gaming PC. And before I start this build, you guys are gonna ask, by seeing this low budget, Yusuf, how will this build perform? This build will perform admirably in most of the modern titles such as GTA 5, but it is incompatible with titles such as Witcher 3 or the Battlefield 1 or some of the games that require quad cores. But it will run most of the games at 720p, and the moderately demanding games such as League of Legends, World of Warcraft and CSGO on 720p at decent frame rates such as 60 to 30 fps. So this build will perform really well, and you can even play Witcher 3 and Battlefield 1 by downloading some patch, or maybe it just works because the processor does have quad cores but it's an APU. So without any further ado, let's get started with this $250 gaming PC build. So let's kick it off with the CPU. For the CPU, I went with the AMD A10 series APU. It's an A10 7860K. It comes with Radeon R7 graphics. Now what an APU is it's a graphic card and a CPU coupled together in the same chip. Now you might ask, what's the difference between an APU and a GPU? A GPU is a single graphics component with its own PCB, with its own VRAM and with its own cooling fans and stuff. But an APU is graphics and CPU processing at the same chip, in a smaller package. Now you might ask, then Intel HD graphics are the same as an APU? But no, Intel, when you buy an Intel Core i5, the HD graphics are good enough, but Intel focuses more on the processing side of things, whereas APUs will focus both on GPUs and a CPU side of things. So this has quad cores for CPU and octa cores for GPU. It is the Radeon R7 graphics, and this will perform really well in modern titles as well if you can crank down the settings a little bit. And it costs $109 and is the perfect CPU for our $250 build. The GPU in this thing is clocked at 757 megahertz, and it takes about 45 watts of power and is of the FM2 plus socket type. Now for the motherboard, to house that CPU, we didn't go for anything fancy looking or anything really spectacular. I went with the ASRock Micro ATX NAA A88 or A8M G1 3.1. It's a $60 motherboard and does the job for us. Will support our RAM that is up to 2133 megahertz of DDR3 RAM, and will do the job. We are not going to be overclocking, even though the CPU is a bit overclockable, but for that will crank the budget, as we need a CPU cooler and a beefier motherboard. So if you're not going to be doing any overclocking, then this is the CPU and the motherboard for you to go. If you have a little bit more to spend on this PC, I would suggest you go for the $300 gaming PC build, which I have done, and it's linked in the description below and in the annotations up as well in the card, so you can check that out. It has a GPU and a APU as well, so that will do really well in the modern AAA titles as well. But this motherboard costs $60 and will do the job for our DDR3 $250 gaming PC build. For RAM, I went with 8GB of PNY XLR-B DDR3 RAM, clocked at 1866 megahertz. This is dual channel RAM. Now why dual channel? Because in terms of APU, the graphics and the CPU take their memories both from the primary storage or the primary memory, that is the RAM, whereas in the GPU you have your own individual VRAM in the GPU. But when you have an APU, the RAM is all derived from your primary memory, and that's RAM. So if you have dual channel, one of the RAM sticks go to the GPU and one of the RAM sticks provide memory to the CPU, and it'll significantly affect the performance and increase it by a mile, really. So never go for a single DIMM if you have APU. And PNY are really sweet enough to offer this 8GB for only $25.99, and this will do the job for our $250 build. Now for primary storage, I went with the Western Digital Caviar Blue 320GB hard drive. It's SATA 2 and 7200 RPM. 7200 RPM is as fast as a kind of mainstream consumer hard drives go, and these are very reliable as well. They would break in some point of time, but these are very reliable, and these are as fast as consumer hard drives can go. And it has 8 megabytes of cache and costs only $20, nearly $20, and this will do the job for your gaming PC build that we have built. And for the case, it was a really difficult choice. Now I went with the Logitech C301BK mid-tower case with 480 watts of power supply. Now this power supply is nothing spectacular, not rated or verified by anyone, but I had to go for it because we don't have enough money to spare on a different power supply. The case doesn't look anything spectacular, will do the job, has IO and stuff, and it costs only $32, $32.80, and does the job for this build. And as we are getting in the power supply, I went for the case. You have 3 cases on Amazon that provide power supplies, so you can go for anything, and all are in the same price range. So that wraps up, guys, the $250 gaming PC build for the month of October 2016, and this will be the last $250 gaming PC build of this 2016 year, and before I start 2017. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then give this video a massive thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's try to hit 20 likes on this video, and comment down below what do you say about this build, and what will you go for this build. This build will perform admirably in all the games right now, but unfortunately it's not compatible with most of the upcoming titles such as Battlefield 1 and Watch Dogs 2 and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed, and this is Yusuf Alat from TechDroids, and I'm signing out.